I'm here with Nick of Paradise Lost to talk about the upcoming new record, Ascension, out September 19th on Nuclear Blast. First of all, thank you very much for taking the time. Huge fan of the band, been listening to you guys for a very long time. Got the pleasure of seeing you in Toronto not that long ago. Great show. So, this is
Thank
an
you.
absolute pleasure and honor to have you here to talk about the new record.
Great. Thank you very much. Yeah, great to be here. Thank you.
So let me start off by asking you this. When you guys sit down to work on a new album, how much do you take in consideration the previous records, not only successes, but the things that worked well and the things that perhaps didn't work as well?
Um, I think by the time we finish writing it, we've kind of gone as far as we can with it, and we tend to draw a line, and then we start again. And um, you can kind of look at past the albums over our entire career, and there's certain parts we think, well, that kind of worked, and we liked that at that time, and we haven't done that for a long time. Should we try and revisit maybe that kind of style again and or that approach? So you can kind of tap into things you've done in the past. Um, and maybe take elements to go forward. But we tend to, like I said, it's almost like a chapter. Once it's done, we kind of move on and start hopefully from fresh. But there's always going to be something that along the line. I mean, when we recorded the new one, when we wrote the new one, we just re-recorded the Icon album. And definitely, I think re-recording that definitely give us a. We were thinking, oh, some of these, this stuff kind of works pretty well. Let's bring elements maybe to the new one, which we had done in a couple of songs. So yeah, it was yeah, you kind of pick up stuff, but it's very kind of subconscious. It's not like a massive right. We've got to sound like that or that. So
Over the years, when I look at the discography of the band, there's definitely been a growth in terms of what the band sounded like and what the band sounds like. Not that you guys lost your DNA or the core elements are gone, but you guys always gave us something different with every single record while still keeping, like you said, some of the same elements there. The growth of the band, both musically and vocally, is that just a complete result of your own personal growth, not just yours, but of the band members as artists, as people?
I think it is. Yeah, I mean, it's such. We've been going for so long. I just think it. I mean, you when you're younger, you tend to emulate your favorite bands. I mean, that's how when you start, you want to sound like Death or Venom or whatever. I mean, you tend to emulate the stuff that you listen, and then you hopefully find your own path and your own style. Um, but I mean, now we kind of don't even really think about what anyone else is doing. We just have our own sort of thing, and yeah, I guess it's like you said. I just think it's just a growth over. I mean, I mean, how long have we been going? Nearly 40 years or something. It's just it's a lifetime. So it's kind of yeah. I guess it's like a slow process over the decades. Yeah.
What kind of band is Paradise Lost when you guys entered the studio? What's the vibe, for example, for a record like Ascension?
I mean, I mean, this when we record now, it's literally that's what we're there for. I mean, in the old days, it was about the partying and having a laugh and taking the piss out of each other when they're recording. And I mean, it was always the fun element was always the most important thing when we were kids. But I mean, now it's just business. We get in there and we do it. We don't fuck about. We record it. We don't mess about. We're there for one purpose, and we just kind of get on with it. But I mean, a lot of it's done. We're not necessarily in the studio together anymore like we used to be in the old days. It's not necessary to do that. Now everything's kind of done digitally, so someone can go in and do their bits, and I might not even see anybody else. I just go in and do it on my own. So it's different how we record for sure. But the old days in the big nice studios and in those were such great fun days. But it's not really necessary to record like that anymore.
Do you enjoy being there on your own when it comes to doing your vocals? Does that allow you to be more, I don't want to say in character, but more connected with what we are doing?
It doesn't actually bother me. I can. It doesn't bother me. I mean, Greg was there when I was doing the vocals this time. Yeah, it doesn't bother me. I can do it on my own, or as long as I know what I'm doing, and we've all, Greg knows what I'm doing, and as long as we're all on the same page, it's basically about being on the same page. As long as everyone knows what everyone else is doing, then it's fine. You just go and do it. But I mean, yeah, I think. I mean, when I did the host album with Greg, the project that we did, I mean, I did. I don't think I even saw Greg when I did the vocals for that. So it was, yeah. I mean, as long as they, like I say, as long as everyone knows what is on the same sheet, then it's fine.
When it comes to your vocals on a record, do you come in with any idea of what you want to do before recording? How much do the songs define what style, what approach, what choice and vocal style that you take?
Well, I mean, by the time we record, we know exactly what we're doing. The only thing that might change is perhaps some lyrics, some words might not work as well as I thought they were going to do. I think I changed a couple of words, which I on a couple of songs that I thought I don't like how it's sounding, so I changed it. But yeah, by the time we get in the studio, we know exactly what we're doing. I mean, there's no, and we also we do the demos to pretty high quality, so there's no sort of ambiguity. Everyone kind of knows. So you get in there, and also our engineer, he also had the demos very upfront, so he knew all the songs really well, so he knew exactly what was what, and so yeah. But we're very prepared when we get in there. We kind of know there's nothing left to chance. I mean, sometimes you can have happy accidents that sound great. You know, oh right, I didn't realize. You know, this sounds all right. Let's go with that. But most 9 times out of 10, we're very prepared. You know. Excuse me.
I've always wondered. I follow you on Twitter. One of the few people worth following on Twitter, I must say. Your personality on Twitter is very different from what we get when you hold the mic for a Paradise Lost song. How much of one and how much of the other is truly Nick?
They're both, I guess. I mean, I kind of like social media for me. I like to have fun with it. I don't like there's too much misery around. I like to have fun with it, you know. So I tend to just kind of take the piss and have a laugh, and it's fun, you know. I mean, I like I kind of I don't like being too serious. I mean, you know, I think it's the same with like Facebook, and I mean, I don't have a lot. I don't have TikTok or anything like that, but yeah, I mean, I like to have fun with it. I think there's too much, you know, kind of doom and gloom in real life. But I mean, we obviously take the music seriously and on all that. But I think having a sense of humor is incredibly important in everything in life. I think you got to be able to laugh because, like I say, there's enough shit out there, you know.
That is very true, very true. When it comes to the lyrics for any record, do you write with the song in mind, or you're someone who constantly writing stuff and you just keep it aside and then kind of revisit it at some point?
Yeah, I do that. I mean, I tend to write stuff. I mean, I usually write them as I go along, but I didn't. I did them all at the end, and it made it a lot harder. But I think it's better for it. But it was kind of tough. I mean, I can revise a song like hundreds of times because I'll read it back. I go, no, I don't like that bit. I mean, for me, I just like kind of I just like kind of powerful sentences. I don't even need a full song. I just like a sentence. I think, oh, I like how that sounds. And it's how it sounds within the context of the song as well. It's like a certain line at a certain part. So it's almost like another instrument in a way that it adds something to the song. And, you know, but they are very much written for the music. I don't write them separate to the music. I write them for the song. So it kind of hopefully complements the music and vice versa, you know.
Is there a fine line between being very sophisticated with the lyrical writing for a song and becoming quite cheesy?
Um, yeah, but I mean, I kind of like I like pompous stuff. I mean, I kind of like that. I mean, I also like words that nobody uses that you never hear anymore, or you've never even heard. I just like words that, and also words that are probably a very simple. They mean something very simple, but they're really complex. So I mean, I'm kind of eating the thesaurus when I'm. I mean, but also sometimes they don't work. You know, you just got to when things have to work to a melody, sometimes you have to just take them all out. I mean, that's the good thing about death metal. You can really put in long, spiky words, whereas you can't when it's more melodic. You've got to choose more kind of softer words, I guess.
You're the Shakespeare of my generation.
I would say that.
You wouldn't go that far.
No, I wouldn't go that
Uh,
far.
I think you are. I'm leaving the reason for it. I'm going to leave it for the last question that I want to ask you because it's something that really touched me personally, and it touched my son as well. When I first introduced Paralyzed Lost to him with the song True Belief, so I'm going to leave that for last. But I want to talk about this new record a little bit more. I thought this album was very versatile, very versatile. When I look at Obsidian, was one of my favorite albums of the year. But I felt like this album creates a lot more ebbs and flows from track to track, and Obsidian felt a little bit more compact to me. How is your overall view when you look at one and when you look at the other?
I think we spent longer writing this album. I think when you start writing an album, if you don't take a break from it, you move from one song and the next and the next. But we had quite a bit of time to write this. I think we started prior to the pandemic, and then we shelved it, and then we kind of reviewed what we did, and we changed. I think "Lay a Wreath Upon the World" is the only old song that's on there. I think that's one of the ones we did very very early on. Um, then we shelved it, and then I revisited a song. We need to bring that back. I think it's a really good song because Greg kind of wanted to start completely from fresh, but I said no, we should bring that back. It works. So again, that's quite different to the other songs. And then like Savage Days is more like a softer kind of song. So over passage of time, you can kind of really kind of mix it up and get different kind of strong, heavy songs, softer songs. And but when you're writing in say 8 months, you tend to do one after the other. So maybe everything can kind of almost follow suit a little bit, you know. So it's good to have a bit of time, you know.
Yeah, yeah, it definitely gives more life to the record because when you get to the end of the album, the playability of the record increases. You don't feel like you've been listening to 10 songs that all kind of fall in line together. You're listening to a more diverse approach to a record, which makes the overall listening experience a lot more fresh.
Yeah, I mean, we grew up listening to metal bands that would always have an acoustic song, and whether you liked it or not, it always brought the album up. I mean, and that's what we kind of grew up with that kind of thing. So we tend to feel a little bit like that. We wanted to kind of break things up a little bit. Um, Obviously, if you're making a death metal album, that's not necessarily what you're going to do. But yeah, it's nice to have a bit of space in there, and yeah, so it's nice to kind of break it up a bit.
I tend to tell people here at my work and my real life that it's hard to find good help these days. You guys are on your third drummer in a short period of time. Is it hard to find a good drummer these days?
There's lots of good drummers. It's just yeah, I mean, we haven't had that many over the space of 40 years. It's almost like a Spinal Tap thing. Obviously, everyone always says that, but I mean, they don't explode, but it's yeah, it's over a space of time. I mean, I mean, Lee Morris was in for 10 years. I think Adrian was, I don't know, 6 or something. So they've all had a fair crack of the whip. It's not like, like out in 3 months kind of thing.
Hmm.
So it's, but I mean, I guess um, our original drummer Matt, um, you know, he was like, well, he was like, I think he was about 3 years actually. But we're still really good friends with him. But so yeah, but it's over years, it's over decades. It's not like it's overnight, you know.
What kind of impact do you see Jeff having on the band coming in?
I mean, he left originally to kind of bring up his kids really because he had small children and he wanted to be at home for them and the touring schedules were kind of I mean it is a problem when you've got a young family and you're touring like I mean we've all been through it. But yeah, but then I mean his kids grown up now and he's kind of wanting to get back. But he's never stopped playing, but he's kind of just shelved it a little bit. But he's kind of come back. But I mean he's a really good mate. We've always been good friends, and he's helped us out as well with festivals over the years, on and off. If we were stuck. So yeah, he just fits in really well. He always has done really.
Well, what's your favorite Paradise Lost song to perform live?
Um. I don't know. I mean, I like 50 Pages is always quite a nice one to do. I mean, I'm looking forward to playing the new stuff actually. I mean, obviously, when we write stuff, we always think about the live aspect. Um, so we try and make things. It's going to transfer to a live situation, hopefully, really well. So, um, but yeah, I mean, I say I like playing 1 second. I wouldn't say there's anything kind of peaks above anything else necessarily, but yeah, 50 Pages is always quite a nice song to do, I guess.
Do you guys have a song that you starting to hate to play it live, but you have to do it just similar to Creep with Radiohead? They hate that song.
Um, kind of, but then it doesn't matter now. I think there was a point where I just kind of I was tired of doing As I Die, but now I don't care. It's almost like, well, it doesn't matter.
Do you
It's
think what would be the reception you think from an audience during a live show if you guys didn't do As I Die?
to be honest, we did a few tours when we didn't even play it, and no one noticed. So, uh,
That's a good
so
sign.
well, I mean, I like that song. But it's very kind of metal by numbers. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, I just do it. I mean, people like to sing along with it, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean it's an iconic song. I think it's very hard to get away from that track. Speaking of iconic stuff, you talked about the re-recording of Icon. I have to ask you this: what is, in your mind, the best Paradise Lost album of all time, and why is it Icon?
I mean, that's really hard to pin it down because I regard albums as like chapters in our lives. So it's like a new chapter. So it's really kind of hard to pin it down. Um, I mean, I think the Host album's really. I love the Host album. I think it's a great album. I mean, I played it not long ago. I think it's there's some great songs on that. Um, but I mean, yeah, I mean, Draconian Times is kind of like a more polished version of Icon, I guess. It's really. I like the heaviness of Shades of God as well. I really like how heavy it is. Because again, we revisited listening to it recently, and it's like, wow, it's a really heavy album. But yeah, I don't know. It's yeah, it's I can't pin it down. I couldn't say one. Yeah,
So
sorry.
I discovered the band listening to one track. So a friend of mine back in the day gave me one of those mixtapes that we used to do, and it had the song Eternal on it, and that's how I discovered Paradise Lost. Never
Oh
looked
yeah,
back
from
since.
Gothic. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
that song changed my life. I was like, who are these guys? Like, I need to listen to more of this shit. It hit
yeah.
all
Well,
the right fields.
yeah. I mean, that one in particular is very much kind of a death metal Sisters of Mercy, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. I just
Yeah,
love it has an incredible vibe. I love that song.
yeah.
How much time do you normally need to really give a record its dues? Like this album comes out September 19th. I'm sure you've heard it plenty of times. But does the album need some time, some years on its legs for you to really be able to appreciate a record for what it is?
Um, it's I don't know. It's a bit of a weird one. I mean, also by the time we record it, we've been so invested in the songs that we kind of never go back and think, oh, well, that could have been better or that could have been different. We don't never really do that because every time we do an album, it's the best we can do at that time, or it's what we're into at that time. It's completely where we were at that point. Um, However, for better or for worse, that's how we were when we did that, and that's that. So I never really, I mean, I could listen to the first album and go, oh, it's a bit crude, the production, blah blah. But I mean, beyond that, I don't criticize it, the songs or anything, because it's like that's how we sounded. So that's how we played, and that's how it was. So yeah, I never really. I say once an album's done, we kind of draw a line under it, and it's like, well, this is as good as we are, and it's also you're only as good as your last album as well. So, and we never think we never think we've done our best album. Every album we do, we try and make it our best album. I mean, obviously that's the best principle to have. If you think your best album was 10 years ago, there's no point in carrying on. So we still, yeah, every album we do, we want it to be our best. So that's the kind of thing we go for. Whether it is or not, that's down to the people to decide, I guess.
I have to bring this up, like I mentioned a little bit earlier about True Belief. When my son and I started our YouTube channel doing reaction videos, the point was for me to introduce him to metal and really use metal to help him go through some difficult times that he was going through at the time as a young teenager. Suicide, depression, that kind of stuff. And the song that I used from you guys was True Belief. That was the track that I picked to introduce him to the band. And when we heard the song the first time around, the line that I wrote it down so I make sure I don't forget it, the line that stuck with him was, "I can see no good in taking my own life when at any moment death calls." For a 12-year-old, that's what he walked away from that song with.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
One of the heaviest lines I've ever read in any lyrics of any song. Where did that come from?
I mean, as I wrote lyrics then when I was in my 20s, I pretty much I mean, I can read them and I'm still pretty much the same mindset. I haven't really changed at all in that regard. I'm sort of more comfortable in life as I've got older, but I haven't really, yeah, the mindset, the lyrics are pretty much the same thing. I mean, around that time, it was kind of, I was wondering if there is a God, and then I decided there wasn't. But it's fine if someone wants to believe that. That's fine. It's all good. But yeah, I mean, I guess it's pretty much like the lyrics on the new album. It's just about you go through life, and it can be absolutely brilliant, and then all of a sudden something knocks you sideways, and you're just in a world of pain, and you don't. I mean, this is the whole thing. I mean, the concept, the lyrics are all about this, where you kind of the ebbs and flows, basically, and getting knocked and doing the best you can and getting back in the lane. And I guess that's a similar thing all those years ago when I wrote the lyrics for that song as well.
Does that have an impact on you when someone tells you that that line, that song, perhaps changed the course of someone's life for the better?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, yeah, we get a lot of stuff. But it's I mean, music's I mean, it is escapism, but if it's helping you, I mean, it's such a powerful thing as well. I mean, I mean, the nostalgia in music is just things. I mean, I listen to the old my old bands I listened to when I was a teenager, and I listen to it now, and it just takes me back to being a teenager. It's just a beautiful thing. But I guess if something's helping having an impact on you, like you say, in a positive way, then that's a really good a force for good, I guess.
One last question for you. What's the most difficult thing about being Nick Holmes?
At the moment, the traveling, because I got back last night. I mean, we had the kind of the
You're on the
toughest
gigs, right?
logistics. Yeah, well, we did one in where were we? No, Norway, Poland, and where was it? Romania. But the logistics were just crazy. I mean that's not me. That's all of us. But I mean, at the moment, I'm kind of burnt out with being in the van for 10 hours at a time. So that's the most difficult thing about being here at the moment, to be honest.
Nothing, a beer and a sofa and the start of the EPL very soon. I'm assuming you watch footy, so the start of the EPL very soon.
No, I don't. I don't watch it.
You
No,
don't?
no. I mean, Aaron is a football fan, and Steve likes it. But me and Greg definitely not. We're not. We're not. I mean, Jeff is a big football fan. Yeah, I mean, he lives in Manchester, so he's Manchester United. But no, me and Greg run. Literally run to the hills when it comes to sports.
Wow, like it's not every day you meet someone from England that's not a footy fanatic. So
I know. Well, I think a lot of it is if your parents or your dad was into it, you tend to follow suit. But we never had parents that were into it, so I guess I mean, when we were younger, when I was about 7 or 8, I kind of quite liked Leeds United for about 6 months or something. But that's about it.
so I guess we'll never see you wearing a Leeds United kit at
No,
the show.
nah.
I've passed that on to my son. My son is absolutely diehard footy fanatic, and I think that's because of me watching it since I was a kid. But it's
Yeah,
also
yeah,
because of my dad. So I
yeah,
definitely see where you're coming from.
yeah.
Nick,
I do think it follows on.
thank you very much for your time today. This is a bucket list for me. I've been listening to Paradise Lost since I was a teenager, young teenager. My son has been listening to you guys since he was a teenager. So thank you very much for taking the time today.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks, and yeah, all the best, and thanks very much for the support. I appreciate it. Thanks.
No problem. Thank you. Take care, man. Bye.
All right, buddy. Thank you. Bye bye. Bye.